Jeff Durkin with We Are Change Connecticut. We're here with Cynthia McKinney after she gave an awesome speech. Just tell us why you're here today and what's it all about today?
Well, it's all about this billboard that architects and engineers for 911 Truth have been able to raise a tremendous amount of money, several $100,000, and they put this billboard right in the middle of Times Square. If you just look at where we are, we're in Times Square. I'm just a little southern girl from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm up here in the big city of New York City in Times Square with all of the people who want 911 Truth.
What really amazed me by your speech was the idea of integrating everything together, how, with the Project from American Century and stuff like that. What's the difference, what the take relating to Syria now and, where you think it's heading now?
Well, I think it's a mistake to look at each of these events as a separate, discrete event. And what we have to do is to step back and take a look at what's happening in its totality. What is going on and why, and who are the people, who are the theorizers, the practitioners who can give us an idea. So we need to go back to the written work that has come out of people who actually are in a position to implement these policies. We have General Wesley Clark, who said that we had a policy coup in the United States. Those are the exact words that he used. He said the United States has undergone a policy coup. And then we had the number 2 at the State Department under Colin Powell, Lawrence Wilkerson, say that what has happened in the United States is, quote unquote, worse than a coup. So now we need to look at that. What could that have possibly been? If we see the dissolution of states, and I talked about this new theory of civil strife and civil unrest called cryodynamics, where they study and they have estimated that it will take between 12 and 15 years for a country that has been completely, totally decimated to get back on track. Imagine now what rogue states, the United States has become a rogue state, can do if they've got 12 to 15 years of unfettered access to the world and the world's resources. They can trample on anybody. They can bomb anybody. And that's what we see. That's what we're seeing. But who are the advocates of this policy? Who really wants this to happen? And you have to go back to Oded Yinon, who wrote it down. We have to read it. And you have to go back to the Project for New American Century, who wrote it down. We have to read it. That's what's happening now. We have to understand, what do the words from Wesley Clark mean? A policy coup. It means that the United States, the people of the United States, are not in control of their foreign policy making apparatus any longer. And that's why there's war after war after war after war, even when the people of the United States are sick and tired of war. So now we have to do something. We have to, once, provide the information. With information, we hope that people will seek to educate themselves. Once they've educated themselves and they understand the stark reality of what has happened when they take that red pill, then they will become leaders. We will have leaders in place, like the architects and engineers have become, like We Are Change. Those people, the young people in We Are Change, are now the leaders that we all, old people like me, we've been waiting for, we've been looking for. You are our leaders and you are our future.
That's what, just my last question here of, when people know about this, it seems like they don't want to get involved, almost in a way of getting past the fear. What's your recommendation for anybody who may know this information, but maybe don't want to get past the fear and kind of like get involved, like get in the ring, so to speak?
Oh, let me see. There was a quote in a movie that I think might be pertinent, and it is, courage is not the absence of fear, it's overcoming fear. So, yes, we all have fear because that's a human emotion. But what we do in the face of that fear, when we're in the throes of that fear, if we are able to overcome it, then we all become courageous.
Individuals are not being held to the same letter of the law as other people. You know, it's hurting them. It's hurting their government. Listen, America hasn't won a war since World War II. Empires don't collapse because you lose wars. They collapse when people stop believing in them.
Because if you are somebody who discloses secret classified information that undermines the agenda of the United States government or exposes criminality or embarrasses political officials, you are prosecuted to extreme degrees.